Hello and welcome back to the GG.Bet Chicago Invitational. It's the second map of the game between OpTic and GamerLegion. Vertigo went the way of GamerLegion, which is, I mean, it's not a surprise because it is their map pick, but I certainly did not predict them to win it as convincingly. It wasn't. I should have been closer for OpTic, should I say?
Yeah, no, we expected to see a little bit more out of them in that sense, but I think that was off the back of GamerLegion for the first time today having two solid sides. I guess, well, Dust 2 might have been an addition to that, but yeah, no, a lot of the times what we've seen out of GamerLegion has been strong first half potentially and very lackluster, very forgetful second half and that kind of thing. So I was taken aback by the fact that they managed to string a complete game together. It was very nice to see, especially having such a solid CT side on Vertigo as they did. So that's cool. It gives us a little bit of a fighting chance, maybe potentially for them to do something here on Nuke. But as you said, they've had a couple of rough bouts on this one, including a 16-0 loss to Ancient.
Yeah.
And
it was on an online cup, so we'll give them that. It was like,
yeah, I mean, obviously things can go wrong and things can happen when you're online, but it's not like the other games that they've played on this map has necessarily been that much better. I think they have a 16-4 loss to G2, for example.
Yeah.
From I want to say the French line, it might have been Belgian. I don't want to offend anyone, but you know, from the line where they attended, and I mean, it hasn't really been too much to write home about. But on the side of OpTic, obviously, they beat Heroic on this map earlier. It did go to overtime, but again, they want to look at themselves as Nuke specialists. If anything, it seems to be the go-to map for them in most best of threes that we get to see OpTic in. So every card points towards OpTic being pretty heavy favorites in this one, and they shouldn't really run into too much of an issue in terms of handling GamerLegion. But we'll see. Things might change up. But we're getting into it. It's going to be the T-side start for GamerLegion. And I'm kind of just hoping that we're going to see at least some solid ideas, some solid executes potentially out of them, and not just 15 rounds of wall of smokes outside in yard and hope for the best.
And a player's dropped, so that's always the best start.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it did feel like I didn't recognize Existence lineup, I suppose, from where he was running into the wall early on, but
hopefully it's not much of a problem, and we can get him back real quick.
You'd hope so.
But yeah, Nuke is a map that, through the years, you know, traditionally been CT-sided, but this version, a little bit more even, I would say. Because you start to see teams have pretty good T-sides.
I mean, we've seen people dominate on T-sides even. I think the Invitational that we had last week was definitely a showcase of that. We saw, 11-4 halves on the T-side, actually a fair bit, which is interesting. And I think this version of Nuke lends itself a lot more to T-sides than any previous version has done. Again, a lot of the changes on the inner bomb site, taking away the second vent and everything, it slows down rotation times, obviously limits the amount of positions CTs can use. And all of that comes into play here. So definitely not the one-sided map where you felt like, yeah, if you got in 4 rounds on a T side, you'd be perfectly fine, that kind of a thing. Now you'd rather get up towards the 6 and 7 numbers in order to keep yourself in this, and Existence is back. So yeah, not a long-lasting tech pause there. We're going to see what GamerLegion has to offer.
Well, the door is smashed open, Smoke goes in, and MSL wants to take some fights, but actually hides in the vent, so very sneaky beaky line. Drops as well. But, Config dealing with this well. First kill coming in, it's HS who will hit the deck, and MSL is just still on the vent. He's just wanting some sort of action, but Config's preventing them from getting anywhere near MSL's position. Now as Nico is trying to replace Config. And shot goes off, but he'll fall back towards the bomb site itself, with the Molotov going in towards MSL's position. He's forced away. He's going to have to relocate, and so Nico has to have the help of Refresh from Heaven to see if they can hold on towards the A-bomb site, and certainly doing a good job here is Refresh. The last player is Scream. He's dropped in towards the vent. Bomb being brought over towards the B-bomb site, and Tessis will nail the headshot. So 1-0. OpTic Gaming, they find the pistol, and not too difficult, I have to say.
It looks pretty par for the course for OpTic Config getting off to a hot start. We didn't see too much of him on Vertigo.
Yeah, we seen like one run maybe where he went for the crazy knife, and then like after you like you say,
yeah, there's a pistol round
from that the rest of that time.
It's been far and few between for him, but this could be what swings him into the action of things. Let's see the odds for this one. And this is, yeah, about the same distance as we would have expected. 1.18 in favor of OpTic winning and 4.41 for GamerLegion. And this is meant to be the heavy favorite map of OpTic, so we'll see if it plays out the same way we're imagining. We've been upset quite a few times.
MSL has got towards secret stairs though, and this might just catch off Nuke. There it is, the headshot comes in from MSL, gets the info, there's a player a little bit further away as well as the grenade goes on in, and that'll be
that hurts.
A lot of damage done. So man advantage on the CT side. A kill from HS coming in with a scout on towards MSL. So the trade is in. And Nico, playing on the other end of the smoke, might just catch off HS here, crossing over. Only one bullet is needed. There's the spray, and eventually he will fall. Hampus gets one. Nico, should I say, Scream with one as well. On towards Nico, with Refresh picking up one of the FAMAS. So again, very back and forth. The trades are even, but with 35 seconds left, GamerLegion are going to have to try and find an access point. And Tessa is currently defending Heaven. Yeah, he's got himself a lot of damage done on towards Scream. He's currently on 2 HP.
Somehow surviving, though. We'll see how long he's able to keep Tessus here, because that's going to give an avenue for Existence to get a bomb plant down on the lower bomb site.
There we go, finally.
Yeah, that should prompt Existence to plant the bomb as well. And that he does. So successful round, all things considered, for GamerLegion.
He's not done yet as well. He has got the MP7, Kevlar available, Flashbang going to go through the control room. Bombs planted for him. Flashbang is really solid as well. Just unfortunate that he couldn't quite get the timing right. Refresh will pick up the kill into Existence. And, you know, all things considered, they'll be pretty happy with the way they played that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, they did invest into it, but they do find 3 frags. That's kind of the magic number when you're going up against the CT side as well as the bomb. You take that any day of the week, as you can see Tessus actually getting dropped the weapon. There, still uses everything he has. And yeah, FAMAS on config. MSL completely going bare. No utility to his name. We'll see how they deal with this. Oh, we've seen this before. Hampus. Hero Krieg. Worked so nicely on Dust 2 for him. Found 4 kills.
He's certainly another player we have to add to the, sort of the SG experts tally. Got a few of them cropping up, but Hampus definitely showing his proficiency with the weapon. There's an opportunity given to him.
Well, Jig is up at least. He's fired off a shot, so they know that there's something awry there. And you can tell Nico's immediately just like, I don't want to take this challenge. I'm just going to let them walk into my crosshair. Aegis has dropped down from Silo.
MSL's back towards Secret again. So Hampus needs to win this engagement. If he does not win this, he could very easily fall. And that's GamerLegion's chances diminished because, of course, he is the only player with the rifle, the SG in play. And MSL's just playing very passive, not going for the info. Because of that, Hampus has actually just slithered right through.
Yeah, there's nobody really like catching the crossfire. So Hampus in this scenario could, well, I guess he's going to make a noise, so he's going to give away that he's here. You can tell Nico's aware. Throws down the Molotov as well. Spurs MSL forward. Now it becomes a little bit more difficult for Hampus to have a lot of impact, but...
Yeah, he's not doing a whole lot, really. He's just kind of stuck in garage, just hoping to try and catch off a player. But Hampus and Scream, pretty much instantly, as soon as we say that, get 2 kills. MSL will pick up one as well. So again, OpTic having to fight back. Eventually they will, though. They've got the advantage. Knock in Existence, looking for a way into this. 17 seconds. They've got to try and get the bomb planted. And Existence shoulder peaks, realizes the player up on the rafters, and that just
buying
much
time
more
for
difficult.
Knock. He's buying time for Knock. They want to get one more kill. He doesn't know where he's getting shot from, and eventually they just dive in towards the bomb site. Right move to make from GamerLegion. Existence just trying to buy as much time as possible. See if they can get that all-important 3rd kill. But it's not going to happen, so OpTic do stabilize a little bit, but now they're going to have to go up against the buy of GamerLegion.
Yeah, and GamerLegion actually competing early, even with a pistol, so that's certainly...
promising signs.
Yeah, a promising sign for GamerLegion. Can they get a win under the belt when it comes to the rifles, though? It is going to be Hampus on the Deagle, the rest with AK-47's utility available, as Hampus is going to get quite a lot of damage early. He's Dropped to 70 by the grenade coming through the smoke.
I'm quite curious to see if the GamerLegion are going to be able to break OpTic before they get an op in their hand, and once that op comes out, if they're going to be able to do anything about it. So far, though, it's been 2 openings for OpTic, and Tessus is even going to be able to make his way down towards ramp. Everything's looking ideal for the Danes right now.
Well, Nuke putting a little bit of pressure in towards the B bomb side, but Tessus has played this one well. He's in a good position to deal with it. Also got MSL to help him, who's rotated towards the lower bomb site as well. Tessus trying to shine. There's the headshot coming in onto Nuke. Can he get another one? He's just hiding in the corner, buying time. Again, Existence just missed opportunity there. It's Config coming into the party. He's done with it. 2 kills, collected 2 headshots as well. And that is a 4-0 start for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, and a flawless round to boot. So lots of money being saved for them right there, and also sends GamerLegion into a rough spot where they can't really fully invest. So OpTic getting a dominant start here on their home turf. And I guess it's all going according to plan. This is what we've expected. Though GamerLegion probably looking to do a lot more damage than that, considering how well they've done with pistols and limited weaponry. This time it's HS who gets to go at the hero Krieg.
It seems like one of them at least always has one.
It does seem that way.
Apart from the last one, Hampus obviously didn't have anything, so a little bit unfortunate. But MSL, he's been here quite often. Kind of expect it perhaps, but he will get one traded back by the Krieg of HS, and that's another rifle available to GamerLegion to work with. And it will be Config holding off the stairs. Missed shot, falls back a little bit further. And so GamerLegion so far have done quite well to sort of get some map control and force them away.
Yeah. Do the nades as well. They're going to go for the double peek. That works out nicely, but Tessus, the right spot there to make that work out for themselves. Bomb's going to go down, though, so GamerLegion getting a lot in return for their investment, even though Existence will go down eventually. Hampus still has an opportunity for himself to create some chaos. Door gets closed. That means, yeah, no avenue for the flash.
Well, that... Yeah, they know exactly where he is, and so it just comes down to the time. Can Hampus waste enough of it? Defuse tapped again. It's not being stuck, though. Hampus, oh, he's playing this one very well indeed. He's just been a nuisance, and he's eventually starting to spam on in. Spray comes through.
So close.
And yeah, so close indeed. Refresh will take the kill, though. And it's 5 in a row for OpTic Gaming, but again, it's labored.
Oh. That's a couple of extra bullets on refresh there. Tessus has to drop the defuse at that stage, and Hampus can go back to playing peekaboo. But GamerLegion are doing better with less. Less is more apparently for them right now. They got nothing in return for their full investment. The first buy round that they had. Might see if they swing things around now. Knock is an off to his name. There's still well, I was about to say still no op out for OpTic, but that's wrong. MSL has picked up his as well. So both teams fully set really with what they want to attack the site with. See who comes out the better. Config on top of Hut. Watching above that smoke, nobody from GamerLegion really close enough to potentially be punished by that.
Well, MSL onto the AWP. We kind of talked about his success on Vertigo.
A lot of opening frags, yeah.
See if we can get another one. This is an opportunity for him. Nico has just sponged the player crossover. MSL at least knows there's a player here, but they're trying to bait the shot. It will be the kill from Existence, but Nico was first blood.
And he was. Now they know he's there. He's in a bit of a trapped spot. A lot of angles for Existence to deal with. Finds one. Does significant damage onto Nico as well. He's down to 25, but the man advantage still lies with OpTic. Scream out on ramp. He does not know that there's anyone in heaven, but luckily for him, the person in heaven is not aware. Refresh does not have an active angle towards that, so might be able to find Nico for free here. He does have a Molotov as well. So Scream could potentially put that into the corner if he's convinced Nico's hanging out there still. Refresh right now, not in a position to actually deal with him. There we go, Molotov comes out. Okay. Knock makes sure that
so why you just maybe waste a Molotov? Well, Config's going to hide in the old vent.
Now it would have been nice to have a Molotov.
Yeah,
they're gonna
really well.
They're going to deal nicely with it, with bullets. Time is starting to run low, though. 4 seconds. Plant needs to be committed to. Refresh actually doesn't believe in it. Knock's got to get it down. He does have an op as well. All it takes is one bullet. And he's going to get it. Refresh seemingly just lost track of whatever was going on there. That's a bit surprising to see, but well, kudos to the young Swede. Nuke clutching it out, and GamerLegion finally getting on the board. It's an expensive round for them, so they do stand the risk of falling into this rough spot where they win one, with one surviving, get reset right after. Obviously, the buy on the side from OpTic should be pretty decent once they go into once we get all 5 in there. This config is taking a bit of a leave of absence for the time being. But while we have this hold up in gameplay, what you guys at home can do is head over to csgo.net, where you're going to find discounts, new cases every week, and yeah, what's even cooler is that you can use the code Chicago to get 30% bonus on your to your top up and potentially win some cool skins. So there you have that.
Sounds good to me. Well, it's kind of hard to believe that GamerLegion have only just won their first round. You know, it's been so close across the board.
Yeah, they've been doing damage for well, a majority of these rounds. I guess Pistol and First Byron were the ones that kind of went very clearly into the favor of OpTic, but they're showing signs of life at least, and that's good to see. I was really scared that we might see more or less just a whitewash, and this is just a formality before we took it into a third map, but GamerLegion can swing a couple of rounds together here in a row, potentially break the economy of OpTic, then we might have a game on our hands.
And of course, this is early stages. We're still in the group stages here at the GG.Bet Chicago Invitational, but for GamerLegion, I feel like it would be an amazing run for them to actually get that spot Chicago. The likes of Scream and Existence to be able to return to the big stage, and the likes of Nuke, Campus, HS to get to play on a big stage. It'd be massive for all 5 of the players. Haven't really got to see the likes of Scream play on that level in a while. Will be the smoke dropping for Tessus. And GamerLegion, that one smoke has sort of forced them to fall away back, and they want to. Nico has picked up Hampus. So GamerLegion relocating themselves outside of the A-bomb site and lobby. The door is ready, but look at this config. He's got the big shotgun. The auto shotty waiting on the other end of the door. Kind of lucky and fortunate that he doesn't get dropped there. The timing definitely could have forced him to fall, but man advantage still just with OpTic. They're taking their time, making sure they hold on to it.
Ramp control has been gained for the time being. MSL's going to miss the shot. Want to Scream. Scared away, and HS tries to lurk his way down into the upper side. It might be a little bit too soon. So the defense hasn't quite rotated down. It's still going to be Tessus here. And Nico. Still chances to get a bomb plant down. Smokes are covering off most angles, but it's 2v4. Nico down to 5 HP, so that could be a potential easy target. Nuke actually made it way back to the ramp. So solid after plant position here. Refresh, gonna have to deal with that. Doesn't quite make it happen. Flash comes out. Time's starting to run low here. Nice shot from Nuke as well. Ooh. Follows that up with another one. Config left alone, needs to find Scream, and is not able to. Again, it's the young Swede coming out of clutch there. 3 frags with the AWP. It's a net GamerLegion, their second round. Again, it's down to 1 man standing, but they do get the round win, and that's also going to put the hurt into the economy of OpTic. So we might see a bit of a run here from the European team.
Yeah, that definitely will be something they'll gladly welcome coming into this. Obviously, they've already picked up Vertigo. I don't think anybody would have predicted GamerLegion to even have a chance of 2-0ing this series, so...
Yeah, no, that does seem very unlikely.
HS will take 1 kill, not able to get another, but it's aggression with the pistols. It's actually working for OpTic. They've got 2 kills, although Existence going for a wild spray. Tessus will pick up a kill and has the SG in his hands now. So 1v2, certainly unlikely, but he's got the bomb, and the Molotov forced him into the open. So Existence takes the headshot, well recovered from GamerLegion, but certainly a lot of damage done there from OpTic.
Yeah. Scrappy, to say the very least, but they do get another round on the board. That's really all that matters for them right now. I don't really think they're too fussed about how it looks while doing it. And they can't really. I mean, they're heavily seen as underdogs coming into this. So anything they can grab, they'll take a hold of. Rebuy on the side of OpTic. No ops this time. I'm still just going to have to do without it. Neither does Nuke. So full utility. I guess that's one of the things that's somewhat lacking on the side of OpTic as well. You can see not too many flashes to deal with. Tessus, who usually plays that ramp herb area, very nice to have a flash or two to your name if you're going to hold that solo spot, but could potentially throw down a Molotov and then rotate down. But you can't necessarily put up too much of a fight initially. Need to have some help from his teammates. So we had a bit of a pause again.
I guess you could start by just reinforcing it at the beginning of the round, and if there's any aggression there, obviously you keep the player there, but if not, then you don't obviously rotate off accordingly.
Yeah. We'll see, though. Might not feel too comfortable doing that off the potential inner push, though we haven't really seen that being even attempted all that much from GamerLegion.
Yeah.
Oh, HS, he's going to get real aggressive here. Well, might be have an idea as to what Tessa's current economy situation is, but they do have the crossfire, and even though Tessus will go down, MSL is there to help him out. Equal trades, though, eventually. So, lower bomb site lost. That is one thing that needs to be said. I mean, well, it might be hard for Tees to get a bomb plant down. Once you do, playing after plant positions is not the worst thing in the world. Get into lots of good and awkward positions for the CTs to clear out. And, ooh, do they know about ramp, though?
Yeah, refreshes bided his time. Finally, the patience might just pay off as he gets 2 kills. It's into a 1v1. Nuke up against Config, and Nuke has been on a great level so far, but Config wants to make it happen. The door swings open, and he's got the kill almost instantly. So here's the Danes who will go to 6, and Config is the man that gets him there.
It's in a very expensive fashion to do so with, and OpTic pretty much, I mean, it seemed like it was a planned setup, obviously. MSL tucked away in the corner there to get the double kill for Tessus, but could have gone so bad, so horribly wrong for them if he's not in the right place at the right time. As we see the updated odds from GG.Bet, this time favoring against OpTic still pretty heavily. They are in the lead after all. 1.16 for the Danes and 4.69 on GamerLegion to take a map number 2. We can see the reinvestment here on the side of GamerLegion. 3 Mac-10s, a Krieg onto Aegis, Scream with a Deagle. This is the kind I can kind of get behind this buy given the situation on OpTic's side with their money. Yet again, though, they've doubled up on ramp.
Well, MSL starting to spam away, albeit Existence who takes the kill. Another one from Existence who's actually been playing pretty well on an individual level across today. Both series has looked pretty solid from him.
Scream spots ahead. Not able to connect initially, but at least that's information gained. It's going to have to slow down Nico. Well, actually, it's going to put a full stop to him. Scream wants to get that weapon then. That gives Refresh an open opportunity. Config, is he going to check? Yes, he will. Now down to 2v2.
Well, Config, AK-47 in hands. Refresh also got the M4, but Hampers looks towards ramp. And Existence will get another kill as well on the Mac-10. So much cash built up. And another run on the board for GamerLegion. That sent OpTic back to the bin.
It really has. They definitely don't have the same kind of luxury as we saw GamerLegion just have for themselves, being able to get a decent enough buy, all things considered, going up against a team with no head Kevlar, all that kind of jazz. It's not going to get the same chances on side of OpTic, so it's going to be clean eco.
They will get stage 3 loss bonus after this one, though.
Yep.
On OpTic's side.
That is true.
Get some money in the bank.
See Config with the aggressive position. It's not going to get spotted. Question is, when does he decide to jump on this? A little bit too soon, Aegis, with the wide angle lens. There we go. A bit of an avalanche of OpTic players falling afterwards.
Yeah, Existence has just been rocking this Mac-10 over and over again, getting a lot done with it, but kill comes in from Tessus, looking for another one on the USP. He will be finished off, put to stop, and Existence with another Mac-10 kill. So
yeah, sitting at 8.8 all of a sudden.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money.
That is a lot. So now you're feeling pretty safe about your position if you're GamerLegion, right? Even if you end up losing a round, as long as you do damage to OpTic, immediately into the rebuy, you potentially get to punish them heavily, send them right back into an eco. It's more or less an ideal scenario for them.
And Existence is going to keep that Mac-10 as well, because there's 3 players in OpTic that don't have head armor, so it's still lethal.
Yeah, absolutely. Tessus being one of them, and they've gone towards ramp a fair amount of time now. Last couple of rounds, but this time they're going out into yard, back at it again with the smoke wall.
Yeah, plenty of near damage done as well to multiple players there, but the spray coming in
Tiny
from
gap.
Nico. That's going to be the kill on EHS.
And MSL is posted up already downstairs. Do they want to walk through the smoke? That feels very brazen. Do they have the Molotov as well? 4 stairs. Store is going to give away the fact that MSL is there, and they're just going to run through. This is, well, hopeful at the very best. I was about to give them credit for having shown a fair bit of diversity in terms of how they approach their T side so far. We've seen a lot of ramp pressure as well. That's one of the reasons why we're seeing MSL having to play downstairs from the get-go, right? He's not necessarily roaming around in yard. He's either finding himself in secret or backing up Tessa's downstairs. That's off of the aggression that GamerLegion has shown there, but this time getting a little bit too ahead of themselves, and it doesn't really pan out. But yeah, that bank comes in handy. Now we might actually see. All right.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to go for a very fast play there towards the bomb site.
Right, yeah, that or a vent dive. We see a lot actually of the top teams on Nuke favoring the vent dive as of late.
So effective though. It's kind of like it's a blitzkrieg tactic essentially. You just kind of blow the door open, drop straight in towards the vent, and you're in the B bomb site already. We see a lot of teams as well when you're going up against a low econ buy. They know they're up against weak weapons. We see a lot of teams just dive the vent and you get as much control towards B as possible early. We see the Liquid do that quite a bit in a form of twist, but just over a minute left on the clock to play with. And OpTic, obviously, just winning that last one, always want to do it again. They would win the half if they win this one, but GamerLegion doing a sufficient job already on the T side of Nuke. Obviously, we want to walk away with a couple more than 5. Generally 9-6 is also a decent half, so one more and they're into a really comfortable position. Obviously looking for more than that as Existence comes in. It's the kill on the refresh. Config will get 1. Scream comes in, and again it's a double from him. HS will drop Config. It leaves Tessus into a 1v4, and it's just not achievable. Not a whole lot in the bank here for OpTic. And so GamerLegion, good reply. Straight in towards the A bomb site.
Exactly what you need. And now, yeah, they do get to have that exact dream scenario, right? If they were to lose a round, bring it right back with the rebuy, and doing so in a very punishing way too. Tessa's being able to survive is obviously going to be a little bit of a benefit, but it's going to have to be an eco for OpTic Gaming. They're just going to have to rely on getting an 8th round at this stage.
Yeah, this is that's where the money that Existence built up with the Mech Tank came in so handy as well. They just were able to get the full-fledged buy. He just emptied the bank and got weapons into the hands of pretty much every player. So GamerLegion, good job. They get the bomb plant, they get a round win. Puts OpTic into a position where they can afford to sort of just half buy. They can go for the full force. And they went for the force buy decision here. MSL, Glass Cannon. We'll see if he can have more impact on the AWP. I feel like he's actually been more quiet here on their map pick than he was on Vertigo. And if you're OpTic, this is actually pretty scary signs because GamerLegion, I'm going to be honest, they look like the team that's in control at the minute.
They do, right? They're dictating the pace here. It's more like OpTic having to respond to whatever is being thrown at them, and they're not necessarily being able to force anything out of GamerLegion. Nico,
Ooh. Well, yeah.
That is not ideal. Nico was having such a good day 1 here for OpTic. That's not reminiscent of what we saw initially.
That is the most frustrating thing that can happen. They're not even looking at you and you still can't connect the kill. That surely starts to affect your mentality and your confidence, but Hampus is on another level. Played excellently with the Kree. Oh no, so unfortunate with the timing. Still stays alive though. Kill comes in from Scream. And Existence has hit the deck. So 4v2, 2-man advantage available, and another kill from Scream. Really solid stuff. The problem earlier, I feel, for GamerLegion up against the Vanguard, they were starting to lack the individuals. Like, a lot of them weren't showing up, and it's definitely not the case here against OpTic.
They're doing it. Looking pretty good while doing so as well. The final buy from OpTic here is not going to be great either. This could very easily be GamerLegion 1/2. I definitely didn't see that coming. Max 7 on Config, 2 MP9s, out on Refresh and MSL. Deagle on Tessus to hold off ramp alone, and Nico with the FAMAS. And if the FAMAS is the best weapon you have going into this, or I guess the most expensive one, I'll never call it the best, you're in for a rough time. Nice trade from GamerLegion. Tessus does the most he can with the Deagle, but the ramp defense has been completely shut down. Ooh, Hampus, though, gets one too many to deal with. Lower bomb side has been open though, but it's a 2v3.
Well, Scream right through the window. Oh, that's not the way you want that to go. So Existence into your 1v3 clutch. The FAMAS getting it done. And so AK-47 is just outside the singular door, the squeaky door. But that's smoke. It's acting as cover at the minute, but eventually it will fade. And so Existence knows that. He pushes through the door. Flash comes in. He'll just stay behind the door. He wants to take the fight, but Config wins it. Absolutely perfectly played there from OpTic. And it'll be it to 7. They win the half. But again, have they really won it? Yes, and technically, but GamerLegion have got 7 on the T side.
Yeah, they're definitely not hating the situation. This is a lot better than getting 16-0'd
yeah,
by Ancients,
certainly,
right?
certainly better.
Well, it's been solid contributions all around from the side of GamerLegion as well.
We actually kind of touched on it earlier. GamerLegion seemed to be very quick at fixing things, which is really nice to see. So obviously against OpTic on Mirage, we've seen some problems there in their executes, but they changed that, they adapted. Touching on the 16-0 from Ancient, as soon as they played against them again, it was a different story. So they definitely prepared differently. They fixed a lot of the problems that we've seen from them. And GamerLegion seem to be a team that just keep adapting and learning. And obviously they're a young team, so obviously they're going to have mistakes. But here's your updated odds from GG.Bet. 1.59 for OpTic, still the favourites, but GamerLegion certainly still fighting. And Scream is under a little bit of pressure. Multiple players running in towards Ramp. It's Jets with a kill onto Refresh. And it's all falling apart immediately at the start of this. Another kill opportunity here for HS, but it's the kills from Existence and Hampus. Gonna light up the scoreboard, and Nuke will finish off the job. What a pistol round from GamerLegion.
That at least has been a calling card for them the entire Invitational so far, right? In the Avangard series, they won 6 out of 6 pistols. There were a lot of other issues, but pistol rounds that they at least had going for them. Eventually, it seemed like they, even was a little bit labored, they did manage to get a hold of the anti-eco rounds as well. We'll see if that remains to be the case. But they're putting themselves in at least a position where they can get a really solid starts to more or less every game they play. That was a quick Molotov, and he takes a lot of damage. Down they go, though. No real damage to speak of, actually no damage at all onto the OpTic players as they make their way down. And what kind of rotation are we having here from the CD side?
Well, Nuke, he'll be looking through the window and spraying away. It'll be a headshot coming in. Config on the Deagle has the reply. So OpTic still looking like they want to try and get this ball plant in. That's great. Near damage. Hampus and HS. Hi, they're still alive. 2 HP on HS. Hampus on 23. And MSL close and personal. Trying to get some sort of kill here. He's off in a bit of an off angle. Might not expect him to be standing here. Looks away from the decoy, thinking it was a flashbang, but here comes the actual flash. This time, very well done to look away. Doesn't blind him, and there's the kill onto HS. Looking for another, but runs out of ammo. Switches to the CZ. Not exactly the fastest weapon to equip, but OpTic Gaming are going to win a round off the back of pistols. So, yeah, that's not exactly how GamerLegion would want this start to go. And again, that has been a problem for them. As well as they've done winning the pistols, there's always been a weakness in the follow-up.
Yeah. Well, that is rough. And I mean, I guess if anything you can take away from all this happening over and over again, you know what to work with or work on. It's very evident. So got that going for you, but it's not going to get you more wins, right? And for them to potentially steal away Nuke here, winning 2-0, that would be such a massive get. Going into a decider on overpass, again, with what we saw versus Avangard, not necessarily feeling too confident about that.
Well, Nuke far back with the scout. So we go down towards the radio room. And MSL dropped to half HP early. It would be pretty embarrassing if OpTic ended up losing this one, though. Be pretty funny, though. GamerLegion have just brought a scout, a couple of pistols into play. Hampus certainly an option here with the Deagle. And again, it's one of those options. You have too many opponents in front of you, you don't know which one to pick. And so he shoots one, tries to flick to the second, and because of that, doesn't get anything. And it's a 2-man advantage for OpTic. Bomb planted. Scream, HS, and Existence. You know, they've got something of value, so they might just try and save it.
They will. Oh. They'll find Scream lurking around the corner. He's looking for more as well. Might not be expecting HS here. But Wild ZZ Spray is still going to stay alive for the time being. No immediate trade.
Well, I guess the best player to save, because he had the most, was Existence. So
yeah, kind of worked out in that that way for OpTic. No, for OpTic, for GamerLegion. It's still going to be another eco, obviously, coming into this.
What's your thoughts on the GamerLegion name?
I mean, it's not as bad as Crazy with a 4, at least, right?
Yeah. I don't think we'll find much worse than that, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's...
Don't fake it.
Get further... What was that? Oh, man, get further being crazy than heroic, or God knows what.
Yeah, it was something like that. I mean, at least you've got an enthusiastic PR guy, right?
I mean, they're getting, you know, I mean, a lot more people are talking about them now than what they did when they were Valiant. So I guess, you know, mission successful in one way, but...
Well, OpTic. This is their chance to try and steamroll GamerLegion. Try and get it over the line. Try and take away your map pick. Feel confident as you move into the decider. But, of course, Existence is going to try and throw a spanner into the works. He drops MSL.
All of a sudden, he just lost his weapon as well. Like, trying to get that. But while all that was happening, OpTic is taking advantage of the lower numbers on the inner bomb site. All of a sudden, it is just Existence left.
Please don't try and save again. It's the FAMAS. He's going to try and save it again. Time will start to tick away. I mean, at this point, it's pretty fair enough to just save. Obviously, you're going to have the Kevlar, you have the kit still available set, something you don't have to buy again. And if you can pick off a couple of players while you're at it, fair enough, but Refresh will get rid of him. It's 11-8. So OpTic certainly starting to look a little bit better. That's 3 in a row for them. But here comes another challenge. GamerLegion going to purchase yet again AWP on Existence. I thought we were going to have the in-game leader alt battle, but he does throw it away. that would be interesting to see, though, wouldn't
Disheartening, yeah. But I guess Nuke has been doing pretty all right for himself, so, you know, we'll give him a pass. He's allowed. Here we go, though. OpTic still need it. Even though it's, yeah, as you said, it's feeling like GamerLegion has been in the driving seat for the better part of it. OpTic are still 3 rounds ahead. Do have a pretty solid buy to boot. HS playing a position that Refresh plays a whole lot on the CT side, but didn't really get to see that coming into action as GamerLegion more or less actually just avoided going towards that inner bomb site.
Well,
Campus going back to the scoped rifles even on the CT side. Nuke is going to get real
why is he shift walking?
Yeah, I think actually there was a nade that slowed him down, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the case.
Well, MSL looked like he wanted to get in the fire as well.
Oh, is Sampus going to find the right timing here?
Oh my god, this is perfect.
Oh god, smart move to not fall off on it, but Refresh. Yeah, he has very set positions as to where he plays on Nuke, and it's either on CT side, it's above rafters, and oftentimes on main roof. Scream's going to get 1 reply, still 1 man down. Ooh, and this is ideal. Perfect scenario for a player like Scream, barely just seeing the head of his enemies, and that's all he needs, really. Finds 3 there. That's massive. Really big opportunity for OpTic to kind of run away with it, but instead it's going to be the one tap master. Not necessarily taps, but it's definitely on point.
Yeah, he's really one of those players that just love the M4A1S. He's being loyal to it. The rest of the people have just dumped it. He's like, got to keep it.
Believe it. And I mean, well, his patience might be rewarded as we see the odds here being updated a little bit more in favor of GamerLegion than what it used to be. Still favored for OpTic, though, at 1.53. As GG.Bet, main partner of the Chicago Invitational, to bring you those. And well, Scream has been a true believer, and with every other weapon getting nerfed around it, it might just become the one. We'll see Hampus with the AUG. Out in yard, complete wall of smoke. Nuke is down in a pretty solid position, away from the fire this time.
Yeah, he's learned his lesson.
He's not going to win at the duel. We see so many so many operas actually lose out on that exact duel.
It's very difficult to hit because I think the way the player's coming down the stairs,
it's a natural like slant into a wide peak that's really tough to deal with. And speaking of tough things to deal with, Scream's gonna have to come up big again. This time is only good for one, so Hampus, you might have to duck out with that op.
I feel like at this point, this is where OpTic's starting to really get in their rhythm. You see the way they won that round wasn't really too difficult, but Hampus, he's gonna pick off and refresh while he runs away. That's the best part about Nuke. You have so many nice little spots to save in. Probably a personal favorite of James, to be honest. Oh, Hampus under a little bit of pressure. Can he get the kill? No. It'll be the headshot from Tessus coming on through. And that'll be the op back on the floor. So 12-9. OpTic 4 away from taking a Nuke and heading over to Overpass, which for me, again, it's one of those maps where we've seen GamerLegion play earlier today, and they end up losing it. But the fact that they're willing to pick it shows that they should be okay on it. I feel like a big problem for them earlier was because their individuals weren't really there, and they certainly are playing right now. So that's good to see.
Very much is, but OpTic is in the lead here, 12-9, and they're going up against Pistols. Tempo is not being slowed down though. Refresh already making his way out onto the upper bomb site, leading the charge. Some tag damage being done to Tessus, but MSL covering off the flanks as well. He's nets 3, and that's pretty much the round done and dusted.
Well, Config. That's an easy headshot onto Scream. So, Nuke with a Deagle, left into a 1v5. Again, if he can find anything, it's a complete and utter bonus into this one. But MSL would love to just keep a clean sheet in round 22. He'll have the AK held patiently towards trophy room as it is now. More of like a vending machine room. Doesn't really have the same ring to it as radio room.
No, it really doesn't. I think that's forever going to be radio room.
Yeah, it always has to be radio, even though there's not a radio in sight.
No.
I think Valve should just add like a little small radio.
Yeah, just
in the corner or something.
Say one of those handheld ones that doesn't take up too much space.
Yeah, one of the dynamo ones you have to roll.
Old school style. Well, MSL nets himself 4 on that round. 13th, I'm sorry, for OpTic. Here we have it. Even if it felt like GamerLegion definitely were in this for quite some time. OpTic getting a bit of a stranglehold. Ooh, quite the noise maker there. One thing that it doesn't seem like GamerLegion have put too much thought into is how the defaults run for OpTic, because this is pretty much the exact same we saw versus Heroic, and Heroic did a much better job of being disruptive with a lot of these defaults. You know that config is going to go up on silo while the rest of them set up for the initial contact out towards yard.
They're just letting them play their game, essentially.
Yeah, and if you're going up against a team that plays Nuke a lot, it's going to be really tough for you. And I mean, GamerLegion, we talked about it, they'll play it, they'll allow it to be in the map pool, but they're not necessarily well versed on it. And that means oftentimes that your CT side, especially your rotations, are going to be a little bit off. And again, it's Refresh hanging at the back. This is also a thing that is very typical for the OpTic setup. Initially, it's going to be config on top of silo. Refresh eventually sits on top of main roof or hangs back.
Yeah, and it seems like they haven't really been catching on to that as well. Like, Refresh has been pretty consistently picking up the players, but kills coming through for the CT side. Nuke into the 1v2, but both players from OpTic heading their way in towards the B bomb side. If Nuke can get down there quick enough, he might just catch off 1 or 2 players here.
Oh, actually, are they going to run into him?
This could be really solid for him. If he can get at least 1, turn it into a 1v1 fight, certainly there's a chance for Nuke, and this might be the opportunity. Does he check his right? And that's going to be the angle he has to check, but Config wins the duel. It's 14-9. OpTic, certainly, they've got the steam going. They're charging down the track. They might just find their final destination of Overpass.
Overpass going into that one. I mean, what we saw out of GamerLegion was not too impressive, so...
Yeah.
But then again, we have seen changes from day 1 to day 3 here now, in what GamerLegion have done on other maps. So there might be a chance, might be some hope, even though they haven't had a lot of time to make adjustments.
Yeah, it's been like, what, 20-minute break? Existers probably could whip something up then. Well, Hampus. He's going to be using the scout towards outside and towards silo. They're just desperately looking for something, but OpTic are giving them like slight chances, very minuscule chances, and it's kind of teasing them at this point. Eventually OpTic will just trying to source some information, but they will throw the utility towards outside. Smoke's coming on in, and they're just going to dive through the smoke. MSL predicts it, walks through the smoke himself, gets existence, and the advantage is there. But Hampus is inside of the smokes and realizes no one's walked through them just yet.
Just going to get the drop on who? Oh, well, there we go. That's MSL. Ooh, also working with that wide screen. Finds Hampus, and that's a big one. Nice return from HS, but already things have kind of fallen apart on the inner bomb site. Knock and Scream down. And HS tries to come through the rescue, but it's not going to be the case. 15 rounds, map point for OpTic. It is their map pick. It's kind of what we were expecting, and the CT side has fallen short for GamerLegion. Again, I think a lot of this came down to the fact that they managed to win pistol, lose the following round. It's been a theme. Not a great one at that for GamerLegion, and that really just never lets their CT side economy settle. They don't get too many buys in, and OpTic gets have a bit of wiggle room to try out a lot of different things and see what works.
Well, MSL straight away towards outside. Hampus back towards garage. Nox actually just going to try and get towards the lower bomb site already because, yeah, they've lost so much control here towards outside. OpTic look to just try and overwhelm the site. Nox has to step up. He's got one kill. Can he get another? He'll realize multiple players have gone past him, so he'll call for his teammates to come and help. And Hampus is certainly in a decent position to deal with this. They also have a player on the ramp. So GamerLegion, the rotations are there, but can he make it happen? Hampus with the kill, switches out to the AK.
Existence also going to find Refresh. Scream chimes in with the kill onto Nico, so Tessa's left alone. The newcomer finds Hampus at the very least. Now, how expensive can he make it for the CTs? Oh, that's a nice turnaround. Nock definitely not sure what hit him there. But luckily for the CT side, Aegis there to reply rather quickly. So they do survive with 3. They will get a rebuy in, but it's not feeling like they've fully gotten control of what OpTic are doing. OpTic are still being very successful with their just basic smoke wall here.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, even they have a good read on what GamerLegion are going to do as well, because they threw the outside smokes in a previous, not the last round, but the one before that.
Yeah.
And they didn't send anybody behind them. And so GamerLegion wanted to get some information. MSL was ready for it, dealt with it quite well. So OpTic, they've got a good understanding of how to play the T side, which is nice to see. And GamerLegion are going to have to try and throw a spanner into the works to try and get it to overtime.
This is a very rough spot to work with for Nokia. He's going to have to move forward once that smoke starts to fade, and down he goes. MSL was just waiting for that to happen.
You've seen that scenario play out a couple of times.
Yeah, Config playing really passively on top of Silo. And now, how do you really do anything if you're Hampus? Yeah, again, just it's a very much one-and-done position because you can't fall back from it in any sort of way. Again, it's this wall of smokes doing it all. Existence only going to be good for 1. And it's just very much looking like we're getting into overpass.
Yep, we've got the ticket on the overpass train, it seems. And the chat's reloading. That's brutal. That is so unfortunate.
Scream. Okay, you've been able to have some pretty crazy clutches so far in this Invitational, but it's not going to happen. Config really just closing it out. Solid game from him and MSL. 28 kills to his name. Excellent performance from the in-game leader, and OpTic just in general looking a lot better once they got over to that T side.
Yeah, OpTic definitely looked a lot better. I think coming into the T side, obviously they had a couple of weaknesses from the first half. It was relatively close, but as soon as they get over that T side, that's when they start to play their own game. And I think that's where a lot of those player interviews come from. They just play their own game, we hit our shots, and it worked. Yeah,
and I guess if you look at it from GamerLegion side, it's all about not allowing OpTic to play their own game. It's just the same cookie-cutter recipe from OpTic that kept working. So they need to look back at that to see how they are going to work with it. Because, again, if you're going to play Nuke ever, you're going to run into that kind of a setup a whole lot of the time. So they need to be able to figure out what they need to do on their CT sides. I think starting off by winning intake rounds, that's a given. But, yeah, no, very solid play from OpTic to get back with it. Not necessarily getting frazzled by what happened on Vertigo. So Overpass should make for an exciting decider.
Well, yes, Overpass is up next, so make sure you stick with us and join us after the break for the final map of this best of 3.